Recently, it was announced that an F-16 controlled by artificial intelligence was able to successfully compete with a human pilot in a dogfight. This outstanding feat was achieved after many years of perfecting algorithms to correctly interact with control surfaces while also remaining situationally aware.
The American sky, once dominated exclusively by human aviators and supersonic jets, is now seeing the emergence of a new kind of pilot, artificial intelligence. As the US Air Force deploys experimental jets like the X-62A in real dogfights, and as F-16 Fa-18 and even cutting-edge F-35 execute combat maneuvers guided by lines of code, military aviation is experiencing a profound transformation. For decades, the partnership between pilot and aircraft has defined air supremacy. Every evolution in cockpit design and avionics sought to ensure that humans remained ahead of emerging threats. But recent military exercises have put this relationship to the test, with some fighter jets beginning to fly themselves. These developments are not mere theoretical experiments. In recent months, the Air Force and Navy have jointly conducted tests that pitted AI programs, embedded in real jets, against seasoned combat pilots. The result is a tangible step toward AI-driven dogfighting and true autonomy in US fighters. The X-62A, an Air Force testbed dedicated to autonomy research, now flies supersonic on command and engages in direct aerial contests with human pilots, demonstrating how quickly the principles of air combat are being rewritten in the digital era. Discussions among Pentagon officials and military planners are shifting. How soon will humans transition from pilot to co-pilot, or even assume broader supervisory roles? Could future aerial battles be commanded and concluded at algorithmic speed rather than human reflex? While the Air Force tests its first truly independent jets, the possibility of a future where pilots are no longer needed at the controls is gaining substance. At the same time, it is clear that both the risks and opportunities of this transition must be thoroughly understood. If machines can truly fly, fight, and make their own decisions in air combat, the nature of conflict and the very meaning of air power stands on the edge of redefinition. The era of algorithmic dogfighting. For over a century, air superiority was measured by the skills and instincts of the human pilot. The single-seat cockpit, with its complex tangle of controls and panoramic view, was designed for individuals possessing sharp minds and quick reflexes. Now, in a series of joint exercises led by the US Air Force and Navy, this paradigm is facing a direct challenge. The classic contest of man versus machine has left the realm of simulators and now unfolds in the real-world sky witnessed above American test ranges. At the forefront is the X-62A, a unique Air Force flying laboratory. Modest in appearance, the jet is equipped to not only fly itself, but also to adapt, improvise, and challenge its human adversaries. During recent breakthrough dogfights observed by senior officials and technologists, AI piloted the X-62A in engagements with living pilots, adhering to, and sometimes pushing the boundaries of, the traditional rules of aerial engagement. The X-62A does not stand alone in shaping the autonomous revolution. F-16S, F/A-18S, and F-35s have all hosted similar AI control systems, signaling that the application of AI is spreading beyond limited test platforms to frontline fighters. One of the most significant recent developments was the Pentagon's public acknowledgement that an AI battle manager, an advanced decision-making algorithm, has issued real-time combat commands directly to US fighter pilots. For the first time, a machine was entrusted with real combat direction, not just in simulations, but in actual operating conditions. The integration of AI is measured and deliberate. Human pilots in these exercises adapt to, and on occasion, follow AI-driven decisions. Each encounter refines the AI's algorithms, and each contest expands the potential of the system. Joint exercises have established a consequential fact. US jets are now flying with AI not only assisting, but also at times in direct control. If air combat decisions can be delegated to machines capable of maneuvering more rapidly and processing complex data more adeptly than their human counterparts, this marks a turning point in the practice and philosophy of aerial warfare. In these early engagements, AI is emerging not merely as an assistant, but as a genuine tactical peer. What becomes of the art of aerial combat when decision-making is governed by code instead of human instinct? A new paradigm: human-machine teaming. The Air Force's approach to autonomy is not defined by the outright replacement of pilots. Instead, military leaders are embracing a model of collaborative human-machine teams, leveraging the respective strengths of each. The question of whether AI can replace fighter pilots is being considered with rigor and restraint. Air Force leadership responsible for the X-62A and related programs have emphasized a clear position: not yet. Today's AI systems are highly capable but not infallible. Human pilots are valued for far more than their flying skills. They are uniquely equipped to interpret ambiguity and adapt to unforeseen situations, qualities AI still lacks. This view is reinforced by the ongoing integration of the T-7A Red Hawk into USAF pilot training. The Red Hawk represents the next generation of training jets, offering a platform where future aviators can master foundational flying skills even as AI takes on greater roles in operational squadrons. This careful balance illustrates the military's recognition that, for now, there is no substitute for human judgment in unpredictable environments. Despite this caution, the path toward human-machine teaming is clear. New Air Force initiatives involve teams of jets, including autonomous drones and optionally crewed fighters, working in concert with human operators. The Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program exemplifies this concept. While legacy aircraft such as the F-35 are expected to serve well into the coming decades, their eventual successors will likely operate alongside collaborative uncrewed aircraft, drone wingmen, all managed by advanced AI capable of distributing tasks and roles within the formation. The recent tests involving AI battle managers highlight the shift underway. These systems have processed live battlefield data, allocated resources in real time, and issued mission-critical commands, allowing human pilots to focus on strategic objectives while the AI manages tactical execution. The future could see human pilots acting as mission commanders, orchestrating operations involving both manned and autonomous jets. Even SpaceX's reported work on next-generation bomber concepts reflects this broader movement. Leveraging AI for flight management and mission execution could enable human operators to oversee strategy, while machines execute the operational details. This evolving doctrine is influencing training and force structure across the Air Force. The notion is not one of redundancy, but of redefined roles, requiring new combinations of experience, leadership, and technical competence to maintain the edge in aerial combat. NGAD and the rise of autonomous wingmen. While the F-35 and other current platforms remain central to American air power, their successors are taking shape in the form of the next-generation air dominance ecosystem. This vision encompasses advanced crewed fighters, state-of-the-art sensors, and a network of AI-enabled collaborative aircraft, including the anticipated F-47 and other drone wingmen. Autonomous collaborative platforms are already featuring prominently in recent exercises. The Air Force's July 2025 push to integrate these advanced platforms underscores the intent to make autonomy an operational standard. AI-powered uncrewed jets are being designed to execute risky, complex, and high-demand tasks, allowing human pilots to be reserved for missions requiring judgment and adaptability. Collaboration between the Air Force and Navy has focused on integrating these platforms with existing force structures. Exercise scenarios have included human pilots flying in formation with, and even under the direction of, AI-driven jets. The AI performs as a wingman, responding dynamically to threats and supporting the flight lead during intercepts and other complex maneuvers, all often operated independently of ground-based oversight. Work on the NGAD program is ongoing at all levels. A recent pause in major contract awards reflects the need to reassess requirements, highlighting the rapidly shifting technological landscape and military leaders' determination to ensure tomorrow's warplanes are not constrained by today's assumptions. The lessons learned from operational and test exercises feed directly into planning for future air power. Should autonomy prove as reliable as initial data indicates, it could enable the Air Force to increase the number of deployable assets dramatically, while reducing exposure for human crews. Such a development could impose new operational dilemmas on adversaries and fundamentally shift air power's balance. With AI systems growing more capable by the day, the Air Force is approaching a future in which the primary constraint is not the number of trained pilots, but rather the pace at which new autonomous systems can be developed and fielded. Strategic implications: command, control, and future doctrine. The transformative potential of autonomous jets extends beyond technology to the doctrine of command itself. The experimental deployment of AI battle managers, algorithms empowered to issue combat commands in real time, signals a move toward machine participation in directing air combat at the operational level. During pivotal test events, human pilots faced off against Centaur, an AI system distinguished not only by its ability to control a jet, but to comprehend an evolving tactical situation, integrating data and issuing mission-critical instructions. This represents a notable change. AI is not just aiding or supplementing human commanders, but is positioned to assume direct command responsibilities in certain contexts. This shift has significant consequences for how battles are managed. Traditionally, air battle control relied on experienced humans, often operating through complex webs of communications and sensor networks. AI, entrusted with such roles, can process massive streams of sensor input and battlefield information, recognize and respond to shifting conditions in milliseconds, and automatically allocate resources or direct assets far faster than any human could. As autonomy becomes more integrated into military doctrine, new questions arise. When should decision-making transfer from humans to algorithms? How can trust be built between human aviators and AI, especially when outcomes in battle are at stake? The Air Force is already adjusting training and leadership development to prepare for these future roles. Military planners envision environments where dozens or hundreds of autonomous jets, supervised by humans but commanded at the tactical level by AI, form a web of near-instant response. In such scenarios, humans may focus on campaign planning and ethical oversight, intervening only when ambiguity or an unforeseen challenge arises. Nonetheless, the deployment of such systems also raises new issues of trust, safety, and accountability. Recent exercises with AI systems commanding multi-aircraft formations serve both as technical trials and as early steps in defining the principles by which command authority will be exercised in the emerging era. Training for integration, bridging human and machine. As autonomous jets prepare to assume greater roles in American air power, the Air Force's approach to pilot training is evolving. The T-7A Red Hawk highlights this shift. Its introduction into pilot training is intended not only to develop airmanship, but also to prepare aviators for an operating environment saturated with automation and AI partners. The Red Hawk is designed for the realities of human-machine teaming, teaching future pilots how to work with and, when appropriate, override autonomous systems. Air Force leaders recognize that as AI takes on more of the workload, pilots will increasingly be required to serve as managers and supervisors of complex man-machine systems. Intersectional training is essential. Pilots must simultaneously function as tacticians, engineers, and systems managers. In recent test flights and experimental sorties, pilots have learned to anticipate and interpret the intentions and decisions of AI wingmen. They are developing the capacity to coordinate rapid maneuvers, assess machine responses for potential errors, and adapt to swiftly changing circumstances. These adjustments are realigning the way pilots are selected and mentored. The Air Force now seeks aviators who are comfortable with sophisticated data flows, able to adapt in uncertain situations, and capable of leading teams that comprise both humans and machines. At a higher level, the acquisition and research process is also changing. The recalibration of NGAD's contract award demonstrates the focus on ensuring that human-machine integration is built into new systems from the earliest stages. As training philosophy adapts and technology matures, a new Air Force culture is forming, one that harmonizes aeronautical tradition with systems innovation, maintaining the human element even in a rapidly changing technological landscape. Redefining aircraft roles, the bomber evolution. While much attention surrounds fighter jets, the implications of autonomy are equally significant for other air power roles. Notably, reports of SpaceX involvement in conceptualizing new bomber aircraft for the Air Force hint at the application of AI-driven autonomy to the strategic bomber force. Traditional bombers operate in some of the most demanding and contested environments, tasked with penetrating deep into hostile airspace and delivering critical payloads under persistent threat. Introducing AI-enabled operational management to future bombers could expand their mission flexibility while minimizing risk to human crews and accelerating operational tempo. The Pentagon's experiments with AI battle management are particularly applicable in this context. The ability of AI to allocate resources, adapt to fluid situations, and coordinate complex missions in real time could reshape how strategic bombing campaigns are conducted, offering new options for handling sudden changes, shifting targets, and other challenges. However, it is clear that autonomy will not be applied uniformly across all platforms. Each mission, from fighters to bombers to remotely piloted surveillance craft, demands AI tailored to its operational requirements, acceptable risk, and strategic importance. As the Air Force continues to explore these possibilities, new operational and ethical doctrines will be needed. The rise of uncrewed or optionally crewed bombers, for instance, may bring novel considerations to deterrence, escalation management, and rules of engagement. Risks, cautions, and the human factor. Despite the remarkable potential of autonomous systems, both operational benefits and risks must be carefully weighed. Air Force leaders have stated unequivocally that AI is not ready, yet, to fully replace pilots in combat. Even the most sophisticated AI demonstrations reveal both capabilities and current limits. Combat flying is inherently complex. Unpredictable factors, whether adversary tactics or unexpected technical failures, can present challenges beyond the scope of AI trained on historical data. Human pilots can improvise and adapt based on subtle cues or novel scenarios, a capacity that remains difficult for AI to replicate. Earning trust, therefore, is a gradual process. Pilots must become comfortable with new technology, learning to rely on AI while always ready to intervene if the system falters. Likewise, policymakers must set high standards for reliability and transparency before authorizing full combat autonomy. Security is also paramount. The use of autonomy creates new openings for cyber attacks, electronic warfare, and data corruption. Any autonomous aircraft must demonstrate not only tactical effectiveness, but also resilience against these threats. These concerns are reflected in decisions such as the NGAD contract pause, which gives the Air Force time to demand greater assurance on reliability, transparency, and integration. Throughout these developments, the human contribution remains fundamental. The advantages of cognitive diversity, combining human experience and intuition with the speed and processing power of AI, remain central to contemporary doctrine. The path forward? The Air Force's recent tests of AI flight systems represent a significant advancement in the tempo, scale, and theory of air combat. From the X-62A's pathfinding dogfights to AI battle managers guiding F-16s and F-35s, and the anticipated arrival of NGAD's family of advanced platforms with autonomous F-47s and drone wingmen, the shape of American air power is evolving. Yet the vision of the future is not one where machines simply supplant people, or where human courage is rendered obsolete. Instead, it is one of continuous adaptation, where experience, creativity, and partnership between people and machines set the standard for operational excellence. Whether working at the controls of a Red Hawk trainer overseeing the integration of AI in strategic bombers, or developing the next generation of air combat systems, human ingenuity continues to drive change. The transition to greater autonomy in combat aviation is underway, but the future of air power will remain influenced, directed, and improved by human insight and leadership. Autonomous jets may one day fly with little or no human intervention, but the character of American air power will continue to be defined by the men and women who lead, innovate, and guide these systems forward. The sky above is changing rapidly, but the commitment to excellence, adaptability, and responsible leadership remains steadfast at the heart of the Air Force's mission. As technology advances, the contest for command of the air will persist, redefined, but always driven by the enduring pursuit of mastery and innovation.